You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
Yeah, I'm
Dan.
doing pretty well. I'm feeling a little anxious, a little stressful. It's that time of year. As you know, I'm a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
My Minnesota Twins tonight, they hit the field in New York, man. Game number 1, 5-game series.
This is the World Series, or this is something different?
No, it's not the World Series, John.
know.
That doesn't happen for a while.
Okay, I don't know how this works.
It's October, beginning of October. We're into the playoffs now.
Oh, the playoffs.
So, yeah, for instance, Tampa Bay won a little wild card the other night against the Oakland A's. And the Twins are meeting the Yankees. It seems to be a federal law. Whenever the Twins get into postseason anymore, it's always the Yankees first. The Yankees first. That's who they have to play. So,
is that like a tough team to beat? Because I've heard of them. They
well,
must be
the
good.
Yankees.
Heard of them?
The Yankees are controlled by Satan.
Okay.
Oh,
So there's some power there. It's dark power,
yeah.
but yeah.
little black magic going on.
There's a couple of fans that like the Yankees that are not happy with you right now.
So and
You
here's
like
the
all
thing.
baseball teams here at Sunny.
That game will be aired on the MLB network, the Major League Baseball network, which a lot of people don't have. I do, but that doesn't mean anyone can stop over.
Oh, what time should we be there if we're not going to come over?
So, and I'm going to say I think that the Twins are going to take this one. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to go 5 games, but I think we're going to take it.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. A little more local news here. This is big. The very first pancake feed of the season at the Legion this Sunday.
That's right. It is this
So
Sunday.
yummy.
American Legion Post $5, all you can eat pancakes.
You just
eggs,
can't beat
sausage.
that at all.
And here's the other thing. I'm
And
not
the
clear on this.
sausage is amazing.
But there's the thing. Kids 12 and under free. So if you need a free kid, I guess they're doing that too.
They're giving out free kids?
That's the way I read it.
Wow, nice.
But then I'm pretty awful at this whole thing.
Well, Dan, thank you very much for that update. Coming up, we've got Ranger Dan's Critter Corner and huge news. Today, we're going to be visiting with Ted Nugent right
What?
here on this program.
What?
He's going to be in Yankton tonight, and he's going to be in Yankton tomorrow. So we're going to be talking to him today right here on Sunny 93.3.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger
morning, Ranger
Dan.
Good morning, Radio Ranger. Heidi, how you doing?
Super.
Looking
How are
good.
you?
I'm just fine.
Good.
Morning, John.
Morning.
Yeah, right, little Radio Ranger's going to drop a little critter knowledge on you. You know, we normally talk about, the furry little creatures of the woodlands and, the birds that fly and the things that crawl and run around. We've really never spent a whole lot of time talking about fish.
Oh, we haven't.
Okay, yeah.
About fish.
Except for the time you told us beavers were fish, but other than that.
Catholic Church told us that, not me. I was just sharing that message, John. South Dakota is great for fishing. It's probably the walleye capital of the world, as far as we know.
It works for me.
People love to fish, and now that it's getting a mite colder, and by a mite colder, I mean overnight, we're going to be in freeze warnings pretty soon. And here's the thing, people still love to fish, but there they are out on the water. Maybe they're standing on the shore, and it can really take a toll on a man or a young ranger.
Yes, it can.
They're standing there in the cold and the wind and trying to get it done. And so I'm going to mention this. Some people are familiar with it. Most are not. There's a little thing called blast fishing.
Oh, what is that?
Or dynamite fishing. That is the practice of using explosives to stun and/or kill schools of fish for easy collection. This often illegal practice, and the key word there is often, not always, can be extremely destructive to the surrounding area as the explosion can destroy the underlying habitat.
But extremely effective.
Exactly. Well, it just so happens, little radio rangers, Ranger Dan's Uncle Stumpy worked demolition during the Korean War, and Uncle Stumpy, thinking ahead, managed to squirrel away about 40 cases of good old made in the USA TNT, and for just $12.95 a stick, you're probably going to want a good dozen or so. Now, keep in mind, this particular dynamite was manufactured in 1951, so it's pretty darn unstable. So for just another $2.95, you'll get an official pair of Ranger Dan safety goggles. Which will available on Amazon Prime. That's it for today, little radio rangers. You know the drill. Stay in school, go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables. Don't be playing soccer, and don't let me catch you wearing cracks. Ranger Dan. Yes, sir.
Ranger Dan's Critter Corner right here on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. We've got Mr. Dan Farris in the studio, and for those of you at home that can't see this, he's all bundled up right now because it's very cold in here. But Heidi brought you a blankie. That was nice of her.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to turn on the heat. That costs money.
I turned the heat on.
Oh, sure.
The heat's on. I'm wearing an Afghan. I got my readers on. It's
in a rocking chair for some reason all of a sudden.
I want my meds. I want my meds.
We just put him in front of this microphone and tell him he's on the radio.
Suddenly, for the first time in my life, I'm jonesing for a hard candy.
Butterscotch.
Today's program brought to you by Werther's Originals.
Oh. What is going on? The big news, this is nationwide and affected us. Some of this big truckers thing that's going on, the truckers protest.
So what's going on there?
Well, a lot of regulations are coming down the pike. Nothing's settled yet, but everything from insurance to fuel costs to the speed limit they can go. And these are our nation's truckers who, believe it or not, without them, we're nowhere, man.
Exactly.
We are dead in the water.
You wouldn't even have that blanket right now because it wouldn't be here.
Exactly. This came on a truck as far as we know.
Either that or Heidi knitted it, but I'm pretty sure it came on a truck.
You know, I was watching some interviews with some of the truckers. They're making pretty good sense, and they're pretty nice guys. I actually had, growing up, two of my uncles were truckers, as a matter of fact, around the Twin Cities. And, so they're pretty concerned, and it sounds like if all of these new regulations, rules, blah, 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 come down the pike, it's going to put a lot of the independents out of business and everything else. And so they're just kind of convoying the state capitol, Washington, D.C. Here, they met up Canton 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
Okay.
To exit 62, I believe it was.
All right.
And they were going to do the minimum speed limit, and they didn't want to interrupt anybody. But, a lot of truckers showed up, and
nice.
Things were going on. What's really interesting, on a side note, and I haven't heard this reported anywhere else yet, but according to the Highway Patrol, and they're still looking for what they describe as a 1975 black Trans Am screaming in excess of 110 miles an hour.
Bandit?
And they describe the driver as a good-looking fella in a light-colored cowboy hat and a really nice mustache.
Oh, I think I know him.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Nice.
The trucker thing, man. Looking at the world through a windshield. There's a great trucker song.
Oh, there's a lot of great trucker songs.
Yeah, and I'm old enough to remember when some of my friends actually had CB radios.
Oh, yeah.
Like in their cars. It was pretty funny.
We used to play CB radio hide and seek.
I heard those things are coming back.
Oh, yeah.
kind of like record players and albums and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen several vehicles in Sioux Falls driving around
Little
with big,
antenna.
the big whip antennas.
Big whip antennas, yeah.
You see the
Funny.
CB thing, the mic part hanging there.
There's nothing new on the planet, man. It just keeps recycling.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
Good
Dan,
luck,
thanks
man.
for the update, man.
Love truckers. You guys be safe out there.
We do love truckers. And you know who else we love? People who like the Second Amendment, because we've got one of those guys coming up. His name is Uncle Ted. Is that right? This can't be right.
Uncle Ted.
Ted Nugent?
The Motor City Madman.
Yeah, he's going to be
cool is
in
that?
Yankton tonight. We're going to be chatting with him on this radio program. He's here tonight and tomorrow. We've got him on Sunny coming up next.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You're listening to Sunny 93.3. Super excited to visit with Ted Nugent. How you doing, Ted?
Big John Small, happy October 2019.
Yeah, you've got a busy night tonight and then a busy day tomorrow. So let's start with tonight. I see this is the first annual, which is cool, first annual banquet, the Lewis and Clark Banquet, Friends of the NRA in Yankton, and you're going to be performing the national anthem tonight.
Why not? Who's going to stop me, John? You know what I mean? Yeah, these two events. First of all, I love South Dakota. I think South Dakota may have the greatest governor in the country and the greatest freedoms in the country. So God bless South Dakota. I hope my friends and my blood brothers, my hunting buddies, and my freedom friends in South Dakota, I hope they don't take it for granted, man, because people in Wyoming and Montana and Utah and Idaho and Colorado, they took their freedoms and their Western ranching lifestyle for granted. And then the goofballs from California and New York started moving in, and those states have lost freedom. So God bless South Dakota, and God bless your great governor. But yeah, John, I'm coming to Yankton because I got a lot of blood brothers in Yankton, and what could be more important in America in 2019, or forever for that matter, than freedom that the National Rifle Association fights every day for, and celebrating the Friends of the NRA banquet, raising money and raising hell and raising awareness and hopefully raising activism. And then, equally important, probably even more important, is the future of America is in the hands of Americans' youth. So I started the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids charity way back in 1989 upon the passing of our great friend and hero, Fred Bear. And we teach kids all over the country for 30 years now the discipline, the samurai discipline of aim small, miss small archery and firearms marksmanship, safe firearms handling and hunter safety and conservation, hands-on resource stewardship, being the best that you can be and remaining clean and sober so you can be the best that you can be in the American dream. So between the freedom of the Second Amendment on Friday and then the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids on Saturday, I think Yankton, South Dakota, at the hands of the great Bruce Cull and his team, all the volunteers, I think that will be the epicenter of freedom in the world. That's what I think.
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Again, the banquet is tonight, and then the 9th annual Camp for Kids in Yankton is tomorrow. The 9th annual locally, but you've been doing this 30 years. Now, 30 years ago when you did this first Camp for Kids, did you have any idea that it was going to turn into what it's turned into?
You know, I really did, because I knew there was a lot of concerned parents around the country that were seeing some of the alternative lifestyles that the young people were pursuing. You know, the gangs and the drugs and the alcohol and the tobacco and the vaping and the numbnut zombie video games and the lack of outdoor activity and meaningful exercise and losing that connection with the great spirit of the wild and conservation, aware of quality of life coming from air, soil, water quality, wildlife habitat, and the renewability of God's miraculous creation and all that stuff I just said. They were concerned that a generation was going to lose that. So I knew that there was an army. I think the majority of American families know that being clean and sober, being in touch with the good earth, and being a conscientious conservation participant is really the foundation for quality of life. And I got to tell you, John, I'm 71 years clean and sober in the world of goofball rock and roll, and I was able to defy that nonsense of peer pressure because I couldn't wait for October with my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters in the woods of Michigan with our bow and arrow and hunting with the great Fred Bear and being the best that you can be and turning up that level of awareness that not only makes you a better hunter and a better person, a better son, a better human being, but it also allows you to tune in better with your guitar playing and collaborating with the fellow musicians, especially the dynamic virtuosos that I've been surrounded with throughout my 60-some year musical career. That clean and sober bow hunting stealth can be best described as a samurai awareness, being the absolute most tuned in, connected, conscientious person you can be. And that's what our Camp for Kids teaches. Now, John, we've got parents who were the first campers way back in 1989 and 1990. They're bringing their children to the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids. So I really want to salute all those great volunteers. We got heroes of the military and law enforcement, first responders, great working hard, playing hard families in America that volunteer every year, and they're literally saving kids' lives by the tens of thousands. So God bless that kind of activism.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to have you in South Dakota tonight and tomorrow, and thank you very much for taking some time to chat with us about it here on Sunny.
My pleasure, John. We celebrate the best of America, and that's what the National Rifle Association is all about, and certainly what the Great Outdoors lifestyle is all about. So everybody who can, come on to Yankton tonight and tomorrow and witness the ultimate families who celebrate and demand freedom that is so unique to America, and that I think South Dakota manifests better than any other state. So God bless America, God bless South Dakota and the National Rifle Association, all the volunteers for teaching kids about conservation.
And we're going to throw a link to all of the information on our Facebook page to make it really easy to find. We got some music right now from Ted Nugent on Sunny.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Celebrity. Fabulous. I really like this guy. I've always liked this guy. Will Smith, we're big fans. I'm sure you two guys are in some great movies and done some cool stuff.
Fresh Prince. Yeah.
While he's stepping into this, you must have seen a really nice little sidetrack gravy train with this deal.
What's that?
Will Smith has just revealed he's launching and has launched a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air clothing line.
Oh, wow. That's about 30 years late. What?
Again, everything recycles, man. Everything comes back.
How is it?
Will Smith, the actor and rapper, took to Instagram earlier this week to unveil his Bel-Air Athletics line, which is available for purchase at shop.willsmith.com.
I won't be buying any.
Apparently, his reversible track jacket is a big deal, I guess, which was featured in that series.
This press release is not from 1989? No. Because that would make sense.
This is a true story. But again, everything recycles.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
for sure.
we play him here on this station. And now that we added some early 90s music, I hear him more. And it's some stuff that I didn't remember he did. I was like, oh, hey, I forgot all about this one. So.
Well, here's what's happening. I guess it launched Tuesday of this week. And one of the items, a limited edition, what they're calling a gym bag kit, is already sold out. Including a nylon duffel bag, reversible track jacket, I guess, which is the big deal, a T-shirt, and socks. $200 a pop.
You know,
holy cow.
When the word of this gets out, I got a feeling that Ranger Dan's going to start his own clothing line, because that's
it's right up his alley.
It's possible.
$200 for a couple socks, I could see that happening.
I think, you know what, I might shed some coin if there was something to do with Carlton in this, because here's the thing.
Dancing
I like
shoes.
Carlton.
I did too, and that dance, the Carlton, to me, it's like, it's a lot like bacon. There's nothing the Carlton can't improve.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Agreed.
So there you
Not
go.
unusual.
Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air clothing line. If that's your thing.
Very interesting.
Take a look, man. Christmas is coming. So there you go.
I know what I'm getting, Dan.
That'd be great. You'll see that at Savers the day later.
Well, Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
My pleasure.
Again, entertainment news of the day right here on Sunny 93.3.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Tayor Dayne, and I actually had a chance to meet Tayor at 80s in the Sand a couple of years ago. Tayor, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for asking. Good, great.
Well, we're excited to have you at Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort coming up here in December, so I get to be the MC that night, so I'll be seeing you again there. You guys do quite a few tours still. Are you out a lot doing music?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I am on the road. I am definitely on the road. Go on TayorDayne.com and check out Facebook or Instagram, anything you need. And yeah, I'm out there, so it's wonderful connecting with fans all the time. It's amazing.
And the show you're doing at Grand Falls, it'll be you and Tiffany. Do you guys get to work together very often?
I've seen Tiffany out there over the years, of course. Great girl, real talent.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your book, Tell It to My Heart. It's a new book that came out. How long has the book been out?
The book came out Valentine's Day.
That's awesome.
Appropriate.
That is. And
so it's, they call these kind of projects long legs because a book is just, this is really amazing ride and really an amazing treat. Started with a TED Talk and led to a memoir. Okay.
That is very cool. So you had a chance to do a TED Talk first and then that turned into the book?
In 2016, I was working with a ghostwriter just trying to figure out what, I was ready to write a book. And, a process of the book is a long process. It's not something that we just write scribble notes down. So I was talking to a couple of ghostwriters and I was, getting the lay of the land. I went and did a workshop and I met my book mentor, I call her my book mama, Linda Syverson. And during that course of that weekend and really working and understanding, said, Tayor, the thing with you as an artist, you're already out there as an artist, I really want you to do a TED Talk first. I really feel, wait 2 years to put this out. I need you to have those moments and to share those moments. And within a month, I was, doing a TED Talk in the 6 months that it took, the type of depth of soul searching. And also, if you understand TED Talks and if people that watch them, they're thematic. And so I did TED Women. It was a big event in San Francisco and it was enormous. And it was during the Me Too. And it was, when Ashley Judd just came out, there was a lot going on and we were all part of this particular moment in time. And it was about time. That was the theme of the actual conference.
That's
and
awesome.
It was very strong, and you had Elizabeth, you just had incredible, women and the strength, and also the moments that we've all shared on different levels, on different ways, but always, coming together to express our pain and gratitude and strength. So that's what led to the book, and people can watch that on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. It gives you an idea of where the book ended up going.
That is
I
awesome.
combine my music as well as written word, yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll throw a link to the TED Talk video so people can see that. And I want to see it myself. I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
It was quite an important event. I mean, again, Me Too we had just gotten into that, and then Black Lives Matter, the actual creator of Black Lives Matter. I mean, this was a very powerful women's moment.
Now, you've got new music that you're still putting out today as well. When was the very first song that Tayor Dayne had as a hit? What year would that very first song have come out and been a big hit for you?
I think everybody knows. That would be Tell It to My Heart. That would have been 1987. That was my first single. Kind of extraordinary, yeah.
32 years later, and you're still putting out music. And how has the music industry changed from 1987?
Well, it's funny. I mean, I put that out. I started, we were doing that independently. It's a song that I recorded that we produced, my partner at the time. And again, I was going for single. I grew up in New York. It was the KTUs of the time, and I'd done enough trying to get my music into labels. It was that very small window, as opposed to now, and the bigger window seemed to be coming through with one single as opposed to putting an album of music together and waiting for it to be discovered in a club, if you will. And I was in every club and different bands that wrote all original music. So, I mean, this was, 18, 19, and by then I was like, I think it's time for singles. Some of these artists are breaking and crossing over and getting label deals.
Yeah.
And that would have been when I was just graduated college and I was working in the clubs and I had my partner, and that would have been about 85, 86. And soon enough, we found Tell It to My Heart, and we recorded it, and we produced it, and we were just working with a promo director and just putting it out there. And, I knew I could pay my dad back when I borrowed to make the record. And the rest is kind of history. Arista picked it up as a single.
Nice.
Literally. Didn't put my picture. If you have the collector's item, the first 12-inch, it's put out as a 12-inch and then a single. There's no photo on it. There's no to appeal to everybody, I guess. And the rest is kind of history. It just blew up in Europe first. It was really phenomenal.
And it's a great song, and you have so many other great songs as well. And I love the fact that now the book is called Tell It to My Heart, so it kind of goes right back to where you started. Now, the book is available. We're going to throw a link online to make it easy to find that as well. Let's also talk about the concert here in Sioux Falls. What can people expect when they make it to Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort? What can they expect at this Taylor, Dayne, and Tiffany concert?
Well, I don't know what Tiffany's going to give them, but for me, it started with Tell It to My Heart, 18 top 10 hits later, so I absolutely don't hold back. My fans need that. I believe a show is like writing a book. It should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I try to make sure I incorporate that. There's a connection with my audience. They feel that the connection to me as an artist, as well as they're connected to the soundtrack of their lives, It's not going to start with Tell It to My Heart, I can promise you, but it ends with it.
Nice.
You have I'll always love you. Love will lead you back. Don't rush me. I'll be your shelter. Can't get enough of your love. I can go on, but my point is that there are moments that I've created that on stage, that's a very strong place for me, a platform where I get to express myself with my heart and my soul directly to my fans. 30 years later, they're coming. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I had a chance to see you on the other side of the planet when we were in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and the show was phenomenal. You knocked it out of the park, so we're certainly excited to see you here again.
Thank you. Amen.
Again, our guest, Taylor Dayne. Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time to chat.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, hon.
And again, Taylor Dayne will be at Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort in December. I've got a link to all of that information at facebook.com/sunnyradio. And I'm going to give you all the information on how you can find Taylor's TED Talk and all of the YouTube videos that we talked about in the show notes for today at JohnAndHeidiShow.com.